Okay, then we're back with City Skyline. So what I'm going to show you how to do today is how to actually create a city that rapidly expands in its population from the start. Now, in order to do this, I'm just going to actually use city blocks, which I don't normally like building because I just feel that they lack an aesthetic quality. But I also know that with a bit of an imagination and the proper layout, that can actually be dealt with really. Now, what I'm going to do is I've already set up my power and my water and obviously my link to the highway, so I'm going to build off this circular here, this nice little roundabout. And what I'm going to do is, in order to build a good city block system, it's good to actually obviously have a good dual carriageway running along the main section. Now, I don't want to make this too long because, among other things, I want to make sure that it's actually broken up now and then with other roundabouts, just to break the city up and control the traffic better. So blocks are really simple, and obviously, as we tend to know, cities like Manhattan are actually built using this system because it gets you good population density for size. Now, good and bad things about city blocks. Okay, first good thing, they're organised. Second of all, they're really great for population density because all you need to do is fill in those and you get everything. There's no wasted space really between those 2 points. And they're really good obviously then for getting commercial. Next amazingly good point is for your piping, quite frankly. It's such a cost saver. You can literally just do that and you're using a lot less pipage for a more complex twisting turning kind of township. And of course you get the same advantage when it comes to putting your power lines in. Nice, straight, easily to manage power lines. It's very, very what you might call an optimised city. Okay, I'll just get this going now as quickly as possible so everything starts building up. In the meantime, I'm going to build another set of blocks on this side. Okay, and just to make it nice and balanced and nice and even, I'm going to make them look the same on either side. As I go through the city, I might change the direction that the roads are along the city blocks just to create a different pattern, a different appearance. Right. But as you'll see very quickly that when people start living in these houses, your population will start going up very fast. Okay, and here we go. Got power, got water, and the population's already heading upwards. Now, while this area is starting to build up a bit, I'm going to start thinking about how I can actually expand the city outwards. Now, because I've got a dual carriageway, I'm going to carry it on, but what I am going to do is I'm going to make it a circular now. So rather than have block after block after block after block, I'm going to use a traffic island just to slow down the flow of the traffic between the individual blocks. It is one way to slightly improve the aesthetic of a block based by taking the actual squareness, the rectangularness of it, and adding just some circles, just something different to break up the pattern. And you can probably imagine already that if you really tried hard, you could make some interesting patterns and design concepts to your cities. And again, from there, run off my dual carriageway, carrying on. Obviously, this saves upgrading later on. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to build myself some extra blocks. Same basic logic. I'm going to make these a bit smaller than the other ones. Be careful not to do what I did there and accidentally go off angle. Okay. And just to change the direction, I'm going to do that. Obviously, we've hit a bit of a hill here and the pattern's gone off slightly. It's not quite as neat and square, but it's not really going to make that much of a difference. Okay. And as I said before, the good thing about these is the amount of pipe that you actually have to use to fill them up is a lot less than, say, on any other kind of design, which can be more snaky or curved roads. Okay, now that I've got that on the way, I'm going to put in my industry, and I'm going to focus my industry around the actual highway, which is why this big circle here came into so much use, because I can actually put the industry a little bit on the outside and a little bit on the inside. Because I've already planned the power and water coming through here, I don't need to add anything else. I can use that same money that I spent to power and water that. Okay. As you can see, we're very quickly heading towards that 500 population, and yet we've still already got quite a lot we can do with this one. We could even branch this one off this way, although I wouldn't use a dual carriageway when branching this way, unless I was 100% convinced that I wanted a lot on the other side of the river using it. And again, if I run off like this, and I could potentially put some small streets on here if I wanted to, or I could expand this and join them all together. I could even put an extra road here just to branch it off a bit to save space. And this is where you can start thinking about aesthetics. You can start thinking, well, okay, how can I make this start to look a bit more elegant, or add a few design features into it? And we could do that off in the other direction once we open up this part of the map, and you'd start to get a lot nicer appearance. Now, there we go, just hit 500 population, and that means that I can open up and add some new features. So, obviously the waste that I'm going to pop over here. Now look at that, because of the way I've designed the city, my utilities and my actual services can really get around very well. And it's the same if I, say, decided to build a clinic somewhere. If you have a look at that, just that one clinic is fully capable of covering that entire area. And I can put all my utilities, all of my police, health, ambulances, everything you can imagine, my schools when I actually have the money to do it, I can put them all around these areas. So, there we go. That's how you start going with actually building a block-based township or city. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and tell me, or even show me images of how you've done them. And don't forget to like and subscribe so I can keep making these videos.